Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It is great to be with you today. It is Monday. It's May 13th, 2024, and welcome to IFYL Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so happy you decided to join me, whether it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon, 1 a.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., or maybe some other weird time like 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. Doesn't really matter what time you're here. I'm just so happy that you are here. Going to get myself a quick glass of water. Just had lunch before and do need a little swig of water there. All right, guys. So welcome, 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 and welcome. Please be sure to subscribe. Definitely like, love, support all the content that I have, including being sure to subscribe and follow my TikTok as well, so we can eventually stream to TikTok. All right, guys. So the master topic for the week, if you didn't join us on Saturday or today is your first day coming, it's all about red light moments this week, finding meaning in life stops and starts. We are on series 3, which means we're in our third year, show 20. We have, I think, almost close to 170,000 downloads right now. I am so touched and happy with that. And we just want to keep going up and up and up because I love that I'm making a difference in other people's lives. All right, guys, let's get right into the meat of the topic. Series 3 means we're in the third year. Today's granular topic is unlocking life's red light secret strategies. Series 3, show 20, episode number 3. So the first thing that happens when you get a red light moment, and we talked about some of them in relationships, we're going to talk about more tonight, or to this afternoon, I should say, is when you get a red light moment, just acknowledge it. Don't try to deflect it. Don't try to lie about it. Don't try to say it's not here, it's not happening to me. Acknowledge it. Psychology has taught us many years that if we acknowledge something, it's only then that we can go forward to actually embrace it and either get rid of it, right? All right, so red light strategies. So when we get red lights in life, there are cue to basically make tweaks so we can become better versions of ourselves. That's what red lights are for. They're not here to give us a heart attack. They're not here to frustrate us. They're not here for anything like that. They're strictly here to get us to become better versions of ourselves. All right, guys. So when you hit a red light moment, which, you're going to hit them, okay? Just like you hit a red light, a traffic stop, right? You have to come to it slowly. But red lights in other parts of our life, which we'll learn later about other areas where red lights come up, they catch us off guard. And just like if you're driving a vehicle and you're going too fast, what happens? You're not able to stop, okay? So that's very, very important. The next thing you want to do, my friends, is you want to take a deep breath. Let's go ahead and do one together. So inhale for the count of 3, hold it for the count of 3, and exhale for the count of 3 while picturing the number 3 in your mind 3 times. Wow, that felt good. Let's do that again. Inhale, but this time picturing the number 2 3 times. 3, 3, 3. Ready? So 2. Hold it for the count of 3. Picturing the number 2 in your mind 3 times. We're ready to exhale. Wow, that felt really good. Let's do that one more time. Ready? Inhale. Picturing the number 1 in your mind 3 times. Get ready to exhale. And you notice when I'm doing it, I'm actually closing my eyes. It kind of feels really good to then just let yourself go. When you can just literally allow your breath to just flow out of you, you can take stress, tension, and there's a little mantra I use when I'm doing my running or my walking, and that is to basically inhale peace and relaxation, and exhale stress and frustration. Ready? Inhale peace and relaxation. Exhale frustration and stress. One more time. Inhale peace and relaxation. Exhale stress and relaxation. stress and frustration. So, giving yourself a mantra is a great way to anchor yourself into what you're trying to do. Another thing that's really good and easy to do is I don't care what kind you listen to, but I'm going to tell you that it's important that you make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to listen to music. Listen to music. That is probably the most important thing that I can tell you. Listen to music every single time that you get frustrated. And when you get frustrated, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to find that it's actually pretty amazing. Okay. Pretty amazing that that can happen. And so when I say pretty amazing, I mean pretty amazing. All right, guys. So that is the most important thing in your life is to, you know, listen to music. Let music propel you forward. That is very, very important. When you take a break from that stress or that frustration that you had, either because of yourself, because of a challenge, or because of someone else, doesn't really matter how it was brought about. It just really matters that you, my friends, have decided to basically not have that frustration, okay, and getting rid of it. The next thing, ladies and gentlemen, is to come back refreshed. Come back refreshed. You know, maybe you're writing something, you put it down. Well, it's important that you put that frustration out, and you can do that literally very, very easily. And by doing that very easily, you'll find that it's pretty amazing, ladies and gentlemen. It is really amazing. And so I will tell you that stress and frustration oftentimes can be used as a positive um, point or a waypoint as to how to get you to the next level because you don't like what you're feeling now. You don't like the frustration. You don't like maybe if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't like that. And you don't want to continue like that. Or maybe you're in a frustration zone because of people around you. It could be pets, could be dogs, could be your neighbors, could be business neighbors. It doesn't matter what it is, ladies and gentlemen. You need to acknowledge it. That is number one. Acknowledge it. Okay. Don't just think it's going to go away on its own because it's not. Second thing is take that deep breath. Okay. Take a walk outside. When you walk, make sure your arms and your shoulders, they just kind of sway. Don't sway them extra, but just let them sway with the natural movement of your body. And you'll find that that'll be great to help relax you. Listen to your favorite music. My favorite is to listen to different types of love songs. I also like to listen to Baroque music. I like to listen to different frequency music that can help get me in alignment. And again, come back refreshed. Come back refreshed. When you come back refreshed, your life changes. How many of you have ever written a paper before? Maybe you got stuck when you're doing something. What happens? And so I can tell you that that is pretty amazing. Really, really amazing. And so I can tell you that having the ability is something you have to believe first. It's something you have to believe first. If you don't believe that, then I feel that you're going to become frustrated with everything that happens in your life. Not because you want to be frustrated. It's like I've used this analogy before that you feel like you're on this merry-go-round and you can't get off. Now, you might not have a lot to do. So a solution I have for you is to take that break and come back so you can approach it differently. Maybe you're going to start it from the bottom instead of the top or from the side. Or maybe you're going to be able to come back and just do a little bit, right? Just do a little bit. Sometimes when I'm playing these shows, I will do the agenda first, put it down, go away and come back, and then do the show. See, I think a lot of people think that everything has to be in succession right after another. No one said that you can't take a break. No one said that, this is a race. No one said that red lights mean failure. They don't. Red lights are just key indicators to help us in our life move to another direction. Think of it like a GPS system in your car, right? You put in the address that you want to go to. Maybe it's your favorite restaurant. And so you get on the highway and it usually directs you based on traffic and things like that and any accidents to avoid. And so when you're driving, it knows where you're going. So it kind of tells you, in 4 miles, make a right turn, or in 3/10 of a mile, make a right onto Furler Street. Then, on Furler Street, it's like, then proceed straight for 17 miles. And so when we hear this, okay, we know we're on the right track. But then all of a sudden, maybe somebody was in the car talking to us, or maybe a song came. Maybe you got distracted from something. Maybe somebody hit the horn and you suddenly missed the exit. And so now what happens? Well, you missed the exit and suddenly the car comes and says, rerouting. In 2/10 of a mile, make a right turn, then make a legal, make a left, and then a right back onto the highway. So these things are similar to a GPS, because the GPS, you tell it where you want to go. When you're not getting close to where you want to go, it redirects you. So think of a GPS like a friendly red light. So when we hear of red lights, we think of them as a challenge. We think of them as a problem. I got news for you. If you don't get red lights in your life, you're probably going to have a lot of problems, because we need to slow down sometimes. We need to smell the flowers. We need to listen to what's going on in our life. We need to know that a red light does not mean stop everything. It means pause, regroup, and restart. Let me say that again. A red light does not mean stop everything. It means to pause, regroup, and restart. Now, we might not start again with the same direction. We might be somewhere else. We might have a different idea. I'll give you an example. Let's say you were planning a cabaret show for your local school, and you were having all kinds of challenges getting people to come into the show. So you were, let's say, going around town and you were putting flyers out, and nothing was working after a few weeks. Like, I don't have anybody. So then maybe you started to go to the schools, and maybe you put the message on the public address system in the morning. Maybe put it on their digital displays. Maybe you sent the message home in the e-files for their parents so they could tell them about it. Maybe you did something like you paid for lunch for everyone at school so that you could basically get their attention in the cafeteria, or you brought donuts or something like that. So a red light is a pattern interrupt. Another pattern interrupt, by the way, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to have a glass of water, but a pattern interrupt, let's say you're talking and you were being so negative. What I typically will do is I'll take this glass of water and I'll just shove it, throw it into your face. So, like, what'd you do that? Hello, gee, what'd you do that for? To change your mind. So, like I was saying, I can't do anything. What'd you do that for? I don't want you to talk about that. And then they go back and they're like, well, what I was trying to explain to you is that I have potential to do this, this, and this, but what I can't do. So after you've done this enough times, first of all, they're going to go annoyed at you, but they're hopefully going to appreciate the fact that you pattern interrupted them so that they could pause, regroup, and restart. And we're going to be tackling red lights the rest of this week. We tackled red lights in a relationship last night, which, I don't care whether it's somebody you're with for short term or someone you're with a little longer term. No one has the right, excuse me, to make you feel inferior about yourself except for one person. That one person, ladies and gentlemen, is you. So why would you make yourself inferior? You shouldn't. So you're going to get red lights in life. Like we talked about in relationships, or we talked about other areas where you're going to get red lights. But when you get them, don't get all discombobulated. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe you have a friend that just makes things worse than what they really are. Take a little water and you don't have to take a whole thing. You can just take a little one, just shove it in their face, throw it in their face. I guarantee you it's going to get a reaction. They're like, what the heck did you do that for? because you were going on a place that was not good. Oh, okay. So what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to do this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get those people together. But you know what I can't. And after you do that 3 or 4 times, they'd be like, they're going to kind of hopefully get trained to the fact that they shouldn't be talking about that negative situation. Now, situations that happen that aren't pleasant can still be talked about, but the fact that you put yourself down, like you say to myself, like, hey, this weekend we had a challenge. We bought all this food, but more people showed up. And instead of me going down a page like, oh, whoa, what am I going to do? I take the other approach. Now I might say, hey, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And I decided that I was going to reach out to the locals and see if they could bring more food. You see how I turned that around? So in life, we can always choose to take a higher road or a lower road. And so taking that higher road is something most people don't do because they're hanging around friends that want to bring them down. Not intentionally, but let's face it, you become the company you keep, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to be very careful with the people you choose to be in your circle, even in your atmosphere, even as acquaintances, especially your circle, and especially your close circle. Because if somebody's having a bad day and they're not able to pivot switch, well, guess what that's going to do? It's going to bring you all the way down with them. And so red lights have been around for many, many years. I don't know if you knew this, but we never had a yellow light before. We had a red and a green. It was only a century ago that we got a yellow light, so people wouldn't be quick jamming on the brake, like, green and then red. Like, so the yellow was meant to get you to slow down because the red's going to come on within a few seconds after. And so when you get a red light or when you notice a red light, slow down and stop and pause and regroup. And while you regroup, you're acknowledging it and you are just being and just trying to figure out, what else could I do? It doesn't feel right. Whether you're a golfer like myself or you play another sport or you do something else, if you swing the club wrong, I don't know about you, but it doesn't feel good on your hands, right? You might have hit the ball, but not as well. But you can feel when you hit the ball well, whether it's football, whether it's baseball, whether it's soccer, how you kick the ball, or whether it's golf. You can feel when the swing is good. And so unlocking life's red lights and the secret strategies is important. There are so many people that are going to see red lights and they're going to stop like 10 miles ahead, but they don't get close enough to actually see what it is. We'll talk more about that later, about the fact that some people, they step on the brake when they see the light so far, but they don't get close enough. We'll talk more about that. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you know who I am by now. If you don't, I'll let you know. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It has been an amazing privilege, a pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic Monday afternoon here, May 13, 2024. And I ask you to be observant of all the red lights in your life, not just the ones at traffic lights, but the ones that actually affect your behavior and everyone else's behavior. Please do be sure to definitely subscribe to all my great content. Scan that QR code, go to YouTube, go to TikTok especially, and make sure that you follow me so we can eventually stream on TikTok. All right, remember to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and rest of your evening. And I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow for another episode of Inspirations for Your Life. And we'll be talking about another red light moment that I think will propel you to become even better versions of yourself. Have a fantastic rest of your day and a fantastic evening. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.